This is WNEP TV 16's Home and Backyard, and I'm Mike Stevens. Boy, is it cold out here today. Look at this, snow on the ground in our backyard, and I bet in yours too. A lot of snow this week. Well, it's March. Really not much you can do about it, I guess. It'll be a little time before onion snow actually happens. You know, with it as cold as it is...
Thanks for joining us for Home and Backyard. We are dedicating this week's show to our dear friend and colleague, Mike Stevens, who passed away December 30th. Mike really added so much talent and joy to every segment he worked on. A few years ago, we celebrated the 20th anniversary of Home and Backyard, which Mike Stevens so eloquently hosted. Let's take a look. Welcome to WNEP TV's Home and Backyard. We're here at Greystone celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Yes, 20 years of Greystone Gardens, and what's more important, 20 years of Home and Backyard. You know what? I don't know whether to laugh or cry.
It's been a long time, hasn't it? Time for us, though, to go back over those years and take a look firsthand at all the folks we've met and all the folks who've stood exactly where we're standing now.
Welcome back to Greystone Gardens, and this week we've got something different for you. We're actually leaving Greystone Gardens here. What a gorgeous day.
We have a really exciting show for you today. And this soup is really good in the cold weather.
And this is the Heritage House on the Park Bed and Breakfast.
We're here today with Elizabeth Jones of Romancing the Home.
In my business, you consider yourself lucky if you get to work on a show like Home and Backyard. You work at night, early in the day, on weekends, whenever you must, for the next show is breathing down your neck, and the front office doesn't want a half hour of blank screen. Well, may I say we're pretty happy to do it? Look who's worked here over 2 decades, folks who still do.
Actually, my husband and I, this is very funny, we were married, and when we were married, we built a home. It was kind of when HGTV just came out, and we were all talking about what an interesting experience it was to build, and so it kind of started with that.
Our old friend Miss Judy, who was really like the neighbor you'd invite over for coffee and a chat.
Well, you know, it really was a brand new concept at the time. Everyone is so accustomed to home and backyard shows, cooking shows, you name it right now, and you can practically find a show for it. But back 20 years ago, that wasn't true. And everyone in the studio was so helpful because people would come up with ideas. They knew someone, or they themselves had a particular talent, and they were willing to share it with us or lead us in the right direction.
Welcome to Strathmore, a country inn located on 150 mountainous acres in the Poconos.
We were able to share these wonderful places, places you could visit, places you could stay, places you could eat, things you could learn to create, and it just opened this whole area for northeastern and central Pennsylvania.
Finally tonight, we're going to show you how to make a delicious punch that you can serve your guests over the holidays. It's called wassail. Right?
And I like to call it my hot toddy.
It was the first time a show like that was produced and shown in this television market.
Welcome to Greystone Gardens, and I'm here with expert gardener Paul Epsom, and he's got some very interesting things to show us today.
Thank you. Welcome very much.
You can't speak of Paul without a mention of Harry the dog that played so many roles. Harry provided some good-natured fun. You, dear viewer, responded, which makes it all worthwhile.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about Home and Backyard, it's always been a laugh a minute. Because funny things happen, you can't help it.
Harry! Whoa! What do you got there, Harry?
There's a new boy in the neighborhood. I'd like to meet him if I could.
Because basically, no matter what we did, I always try to get one up and over on Harry. But if you're working with dogs on TV, you cannot afford to do that. So Harry always had the last laugh.
One of Mike Stevens' favorite things to do was whenever we were doing projects, all I had to do is say, we're going to use hot glue in the glue pan. And he would just stand there and stir it the whole time and pull the stick up and look at it. He just loved the hot glue pan.
And with us this time is Keith Phelps of Country Farm and Home in Mifflinburg. You never knew what you were going to do when you walked in the morning, especially with Lavelle doing the show, and now you guys working on the show. It's been always an interesting experience. I never get invited to enough of the food shows, though. That's what I really like to do. I like to branch out into food more. I don't get invited to those very often for some reason.
But I still remember the woman who kind of made a career out of carving and creating gourds.
I'm here with Doris Pelly today, and Doris is going to show us how to make something very beautiful about something that I consider kind of ugly in the garden. It's these hard shell gourds.
And I discovered that there's a whole society that's interested in this, and they have national conventions. And these were some of the remarkable things you'd learn as you were going along.
At each stop, interesting people happy to help us in producing a show about what it takes to make your home a tiny bit better. Your menu a delicious treat. Your backyard a comfortable place to pass the time.
Well, the nice thing about Home and Backyard over the years is that we've gone to visit, and I'm not joking when I say this, some of the nicest gardens in the US, or if not North America.
You're always looking for that new thing. The little guy, you know, the person doing something from their home, the new business startup, things like that. Always looking for the new and trying to highlight the small business person.
Pennsylvania is one of those states where you can go 50 miles out of town and you're in another part of the world. And the people we've met along the way, you know, I always admire them and I like them. And I am always in awe of the fact that they let us into their homes. By and large, they're folks who are willing to allow us into their lives for a little bit of time. But you know what? I think we always leave friends with the people we do stories on. And that's the way it ought to be. You know, I'd like to look back 20 years from now, if I'm still around, and think to myself, I could go for a cup of coffee in any of the houses that I've been in, and folks would say, "Hi, how are you? Come on in, the coffee pot's on." That's what I'd like to see.
The thing that always amazed me about it once we started doing the stories is the wealth of talent there is in our area. You know, I met people who did all of these exciting and interesting things, and when I'd be out walking around, people would say to me, "Where do you find these people?" And they're just right here, right in our home and backyard. And so willing to share their talents. That was another thing that was so inspiring.
It has been our pleasure, our delight to bring you each and every home and backyard show over the past 2 decades. Who knows where we'll end up next? All we know is it's been a great good time over the past 20 years. We'll try to do it for at least a few more. You know, one of the nice things about working on this show is that we have the privilege of meeting a lot of fine folks all around northeastern and central Pennsylvania and even beyond. Not only to meet them, but to go and visit with them personally, to take a look at some of the places that they own and operate. So come on along with us back down memory lane to a look back at some of the people and places of Home and Backyard. To one side, quietly working, is Mary Langmuir, who with her husband opened the doors 65 years ago. Well, how old are you, may I ask?
How old am I?
May I ask that question?
Yeah, I'm 92. I'll be 93 in July. I was born 1922.
And you're still doing this?
Yeah, and I love to do it.
And she shows no signs of stopping. Dave Sechrist, a blacksmith of high standing in these parts. If you want to know something of what he does, just ask. You never learn anything if you don't ask. Same way with Ben Risney, woodcarver. He does some great work, turns logs into some nice pieces. Probably best to ask him something, though, after he's put down the tools he uses. Family comes together to make the sauce that will stick to the pasta, lay well on fresh bread, and have an aroma that will bring neighbors calling.
Over the years, we've sort of found out who does which job, okay? and you don't cross over the line. Right now, you don't do that.
Christina Clark goes back over a century to give us a sample of an early American style of cooking. She owns and operates Chris's Colonial Hearth in Mifflinburg, and if you come to dinner here, you will see your food cooked in the manner of those times.
How you doing, Mike?
Oh, I'm closing in on the finish.
You know what? We might be here all day. You better let me finish this. All right. Step back a little bit, Mike. There we go.
Don't invite me over to try this at your home. And I'll have the story behind some of the Halloween traditions that we take for granted these days. Plus, we'll have our product giveaway. A genuine air-blown inflatable 8-foot-tall ghost. It'll grow to be this big. Home and Backyard gets underway right now. How long do you think one of these should take?
Though 15, 20 minutes tops. So you better get working. So,
this is going to be a while.
Yeah, probably on the next show.
See you next year.
All right.
I've always thought if you want to really know about a place, you stop and pick up a town newspaper. Or, as we did in Eaglesmere, you go to its past to find out about the present. The Eaglesmere Museum can tell you as many stories as you have time for. One of my favorites is about an old railroad that you can see here in a very nice model. It wasn't a very quick affair, the trip up the mountain. The steam locomotive was geared in a way that made it very good for climbing steep grades. That, however, made it very bad for speed. I'd bet most everyone today would pay to spend an hour chugging up the mountain. Nothing else to do but sit back and enjoy the scenery, not a care in the world. Ah, the past would indeed be welcome in the present. While up here, dare I imagine? No, it could never happen. That would be more than I could hope for.
Go ahead, I'll let you steer.
Me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You don't have to do much. And if you wonder if it's turning, just look back there and you can see if it's turning and you can correct it.
Wow. Well now, this is something. Captain Mike at the wheel. When you look at a canoe through his eyes, you see it in a whole different light.
They're just a work of art, you know, there's not a straight line on them. Everything is, if you like outdoorsy things, you're going to like canoes.
Before clothes or dish towels or rugs could be made, you needed to go back to basics. We're not talking the sale catalog on essentials either. No, we're talking basics as in back to the earth. If you wanted it, you made it from what you had or you did without. This is really the centerpiece, I get it.
Yes, this is right here the whole thought that I started with. It was a labor of love for my mother-in-law and father-in-law. And they, all their life, went down to St. Anne's Shrine, and that was their favorite saint, St. Anne. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, they getting older, they're getting sicker, they won't be able to go to St. Anne's, right. So I brought it to them.
I set my clock on Saturday mornings for Home and Backyard.
Couldn't ask for a better endorsement than that, I'd say.
Too bad they don't have it on later.
Well, I'm going to talk to management about that the next chance I get. I'm Mike Stevens for Home and Backyard.
Welcome back to our tribute to our dear friend Mike Stevens. In addition to working on the weekly Home and Backyard show, Mike also co-hosted the Home and Backyard Expos. As a matter of fact, just a few weeks ago, he sat down with the crew and told us how much he enjoyed meeting people during those events. Here are a few highlights of Mike having good times at the Expos.
Jackie, I'm going to tell you something. I have been walking around the Home and Backyard Expo here, and I have found a man who has got a better job in this world than I have. Wow, this looks like a nice place to spend an hour or three.
All I need is some water, and it'd be great. Okay. Come on in.
Thanks a lot, Chris.
Thank you.
Good to see you, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at one of my favorite places here at the Home and Backyard Expo, Larry's Tool Outlet, owner Larry Kranz.
Well, you're too kind. I really appreciate it. That's about the 12th year I've been here, and it's a great show, and it's just nice to be here.
Oh, yeah, we come back here every year. A couple of the guys from the station come by. We have stuff that we've bought over the years from him, and this year is no exception. We'll be back. Hope to see you here. Now we're going to go to Jackie Lewandowski. Jackie, what's going on?
Thanks, Mike, and I bet you're jealous just watching all of us here relaxing in these great air chairs.
The first person to have that piece drop it at the ground is our winner. All right, now let's meet the competitors. And our evening's competitors for the Home Depot tool takedown is Mike off the Pennsylvania Road, Stevens versus Marisa Boom Boom Burke. Let's hear it for our challengers. All right, now, Marisa Burke, you will be playing for a charity. What charity are you playing for?
St. Joseph's.
And what words do you have for Mike?
You're going down.
Oh, there it is. Now, the purse is $250. What charity are you playing for?
MDA.
Muscular dystrophy, another good one.
Talking about muscular.
Now, Tony is your coach.
Yeah.
Go for it. Coaching Boom Boom Burke is Valerie from Home Depot. What do you think? Does she have a shot?
Oh, she's absolutely going to win.
Is she pumped up?
Oh, yes.
Okay, she's ready to go. Now, here's the deal. I'm going to give the mark, get set, go. You guys are going to start.
Wait.
What? What's the matter?
You know, I got a crank in my shoulder.
Well, you know what? Health Watch reporter Jill Garrett's right behind you. Get her ready. Get her ready. Get her ready. Okay. Thank you, Jill. All right, here we go, guys. Are you ready?
Are you ready, buddy?
Coaches, are you ready?
Yes,
I'm going to give you on the mark, get set, go. Coaches, help him out. Ready? On your mark, get set, go. And they're off, and Mike's got two down. Marisa's still going. Now Mike's got the ratchet out. This is the funny part. Mike's pretty good with the ratchet, so Mike is going with the ratchet. Marisa Burke's on the ratchet right now, and I think Mike is just about down, and he's down, and I think that's good enough for Mike. They're moving on to the next part of the competition, and this is the tape competition. Now Mike's known for taping long stories. Mike's known for doing some good things with videotape. Let's see how he's doing with the duct tape. I think he's got two more. Marisa Burke's looking like she's fixing things up with duct tape. And here we go. We've got the sanding event. Now Marisa's known to spend dollars. How's she doing with the sanding of the dollars? She's at it. She's at it. Mike Stevens is done with the sanding. Now, this is the big part. The saw. The saw is the big part. And we're going to look at it now. I'm going to be the judge. The first piece of wood to hit the floor wins. And wait, Boom Boom's getting an advantage here. Boom Boom's going for it. She's going for it. We see more power. We see more power. Boom Boom's going for it. Oh, wait, back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Oh, wait. She can't even do it with the power saw. Here goes Boom Boom. Oh, she can't do it. Let's see. Let's watch it here. And Mike Stevens. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Okay, the champion is Mike Stevens. Nice job, Boom Boom. Nice job, Mike. I'll tell you what, the both of them played so well. Each of your charities will get $250. How about a round of applause? I think that is great. We are going to take a short break, but when we come back, we're going to have much more from the floor of the Wyoming Valley Mall. Nice job, guys. Nice job, guys.
And welcome back to WNEP TV 16's Home and Backyard. I'm Mike Stevens.
We hope you enjoyed our tribute to our dear friend and colleague, Mike Stevens, lovingly edited by our producer, Martina Yencho. We had such a special time looking at past shows. Mike certainly left his mark on all of the crew. And Mike, we hope to see you again at our heavenly home and backyard. Thanks for watching, and God bless. Come on in. Hi, Mike.
Hi, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to y'all. It's starting to rain.
Yes.
We don't want to stay out here for a real long time.
He said starting. It's been ready for the last 5 minutes.
We're going to enjoy some cake. You out there, have a good rest of the weekend. This is WNEP TV 16's Home and Backyard, and I'm Mike Stevens. Good evening to you. What a lovely time of year this is. We are on the road this time at the Home and Backyard Expo.
And we're here at the Country Cupboard in Lewisburg, and we're celebrating Halloween, aren't we, Mike?
Oh yeah, we're having a good time on the Trail of Treats. Lots of things to see and do, and we thought we'd spend the next few minutes here showing you some of the things that are around the mall this weekend. Well, as the holiday season progresses, we've got time for one more visit with our good friend Keith Phelps.
in Mifflinburg at Country Farm and Home. Make sure
Good thing I wear that shirt.
Welcome back to WNEP TV 16's Home and Backyard from the slightly torn up backyard at WNEP. Rave Landscaping is going through the project here of making this backyard over. It's going to be really something.
There are the staples of life to be found here, plus a hot meal that goes down mighty smooth on a bitter cold day. My personal favorite is a nice bowl of soup and a grilled cheese. We take the roads past, not seeing, perhaps not even knowing what lies just a stone's throw away. Taking the Hiawatha ride gives us a chance to see it firsthand. Well, you promised to let me have a shot.
That's what I like to hear. Give a couple climber swings, let's see what happens. Just take your time. Outstanding job, outstanding job.
You're watching Home and Backyard on WNEP TV 16, and we've got a special guest this time. We're actually in her kitchen, Julie Sidoni.
Hello.
I'm Mike Stevens, joined tonight by a special guest, Mr. Don Jacobs from Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Make sure that the inside...
It'd probably be better if you used the knife the right way.
Oh, get out of here. That's WNEP TV 16's Home and Backyard for this time. Our thanks to Keith Phelps. Well, that's WNEP TV 16's Home and Backyard for this time. Thanks for having us over. Have a good rest of the weekend. We'll see you.
Thanks for having us over. Have a good rest of the weekend. I'll see you down the road. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is WNEP's Home and Backyard. Thanks for sharing the time with us. We'll see you next week on Home and Backyard.